it's April and it's the first time out on the bike for a little while. And it's fun to go do some things that you've had a struggle with in the past. I'm just sort of easing up to a really steep rocky hill climb that has been kind of a bear cat for me. It's very loose, very rocky, and I'm gonna hit it today. This is the first run. I'm in second gear. This looks probably not very steep and not that loose, but trust me, it is. We're gonna let that 300 torque climb up this sucker. Oh yeah. Alright, now. Oh boy, yeah. There we go. Grab first. Had to pop a wheelie up over that. Oh, come on, come on, come on. Traction, traction, traction. Stay going, stay going. Whoa. I'm way behind the bike now. Shoot. Dang it. Oh, I got behind, too far behind the bike back there. Okay, let's try that again. Because we can do that today. This is fun. I'm gonna shut this off while I go down. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna let you guys see it. Whoa, that is a big rock. That's where the electric start comes in. All right. Okay. Woo. That's where we wheelied up around that one, that corner. Okay. Up on the bike. Back down. You know, there's just enough moisture in this that should be able to go up. I just switched back to the 50 tooth, the 50 tooth sprocket on the rear. So we're back on the stock gearing on this 300XC. Shift back up in a second, then we're gonna go for it. Second is a good hill climb speed on this 300 two-stroke because it will just pull so hard and it will lug so low, and then you can keep your speed up. I'm kind of rocking back and forth. Yeah. Oh, that was much cleaner. Still in second. See if we can hold second around this corner. Nope. Damn it. There's first. Come on, baby. Oh yeah. Wow. Feel the burn. Woo! I was able to just keep that sucker running barely by feathering that clutch, and then this 300 will just lug like a madman. And then right there at the end, I'm like, anytime I hit the power or anytime I let off the clutch, my front wheel was just flying up, floating up. You probably couldn't see it. So then clicked down into first and was able to make it the rest of the way up that. You know, as I was saying before, it's kind of fun to go back to places, hill climbs or certain sections of trail that used to give you fits, and then as you've kind of progressed and gotten better and learned better clutch control and learned how to better kind of hold your speed and stuff, it's fun to go back to some of those places and then, you know, observe your progress. Here's another one. Now today is going to be an easy climb up this thing because the ground is so wet. This one is really loose and really rocky in the middle of the summer when it's really dry. and a lot of people go on it and beat it up, and it's hard then, like in August. Right now in April, it's not going to be bad at all. Listen to that 300 just lug, second gear. You know, and that's something, you can hear this thing just scream and then float that wheel up a couple of times. But you can, one of the things that I've learned is that second gear, man, second gear is the new first gear. And if you can roll it in second up a hill, you're much better off than in first. You know, depending on the bike and depending on the terrain and the conditions. But if you can shift up a gear, then you can go that much faster. And it's easier to keep traction. You keep more speed, you know, and that's a good thing. Looks like I've got this bike set to idle for a lot lower altitude because it's wanting to dip real low in the RPM range. I had a guy ask me recently if, you know, when I'm pulling the clutch on my two-stroke, do I sit there and blip the throttle and stuff to make sure I keep enough oil? That was just blipping the clutch. Do I blip the throttle to make sure, you know, my engine doesn't seize up? And I'm like, brother, I think you're just overthinking it. Just ride it, you know? I mean, if you're gonna coast for like a minute without giving any gas, then yeah, maybe you want to give it a little gas to just get some oil there in the cylinder. But for the most part, dude, like on this hill, I'm just letting the motor roll. I'm in second gear, busting down this rocky garbage, and I'm just letting it go. You know, I don't have to sit there and blip the throttle the whole time to try to save my motor. It isn't that complicated. And for those of you that are wondering, yes, this bike is running at 9. I'm mixing this gas at 90 to 1 right now. So I'm running AMSOIL 90 to 1 on the ratio, running Electron carb. It doesn't run fat, it runs pretty lean. And you know, this bike has got 50 hours on it now. And the other bikes that I ran like that, I put more than 100 hours on these pistons, and when I pull the heads, they look great. You know, I replace a piston. I'd recommend replacing a piston on a two-stroke 300 like this, or a 250. It kind of depends on your riding style, but most guys can get easy 100 hours, 150. You know, if you're not riding super hard, 150 is okay. You know, right between that 100, 125, you might want to start thinking about it, depending on your riding style. So there's a spot up here that used to be really tricky, and I used to be able to do it. And then a lot of other bikes started riding it, and then it became insane trick, and I couldn't get it cleanly. I haven't seen it for like 5 months, so it's coming up right here, and we're going to find out what we're made of. Very steep, very off camber, very loose, with not any good, real good, easy routes. It's right here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got that sucker. Oh boy, stay up, stay up, stay up. Oh yes. Haha. Oh. It was, the rock was just clean enough. Oh, you cannot tell from the GoPro what that is and what that sucker means. You have to hit that like you mean it, and you cannot hesitate. And there was just enough traction on the rock where my front wheel didn't slide as soon as it hit it, and then my back wheel was able to power over it, and I was able to just keep just good enough balance on my toes on these pegs to carry through that. Had to stab a foot, but hey, we made it without jumping off the bike, and we didn't dump it down the hill. It's a good day. Okay, we're gonna try that hill climb that goes out around that side with the stock gearing. 1350. It is steep and it is loose. sucker just ate that thing for breakfast. That was sweet. Oh, that thing just, man, this thing has just got so many horsies to play with. And you get down there in that meat of that power band and it just flies. And then with that a little bit higher gearing, it just wants to freaking smoke up these hills. That was cool. And you probably can't tell, but it is wicked steep. Fun trail.